Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In our newest segment brought to you by Animoca Brands called Hello Open Metaverse, this week we are featuring Yogev Shelly, CEO and founder of TinyTap. They are a library with over 200,000 teacher made educational games. TinyTap is among the world's top grossing kids apps on the App Store in the US and globally. Proudly, as of May of this year, they became an Animoca Brands subsidiary. Together, they're going to unlock decentralized education for all, build a decentralized education system from kindergarten through university, owned by teachers and the community via Web 3.0. Today, we're chatting decentralized education, monetizing the process, and building a community powered by blockchain. Interestingly enough, in recent years, the utility of blockchain has stretched far beyond trading and transactions. It has emerged as an innovative solution for creating a sustainable digital economy. Through new economic models, this unique technology is allowing users to incentivize their digital activities and generate passive income. Blockchain holds great potential for creating a sustainable financial ecosystem, especially for lower income populations who don't have access to a sound centralized economic infrastructure. Animoca said it's going to use TinyTap's platform to generate educational blockchain related content. And by acquiring them, they will leverage blockchain to make these new opportunities available to educators worldwide, allowing them to generate equity from their creations while offering parents enhanced learning opportunities for their kids. It's a win win for all. Leveraging blockchain to build a new education system that is independent of schools and governments is what I want to hear more about. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Hi, hello, good to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. All right, let's get right to it. So, TinyTap empowers educators and enables children worldwide to learn through games, providing really code free game creation tools to educators. You were founded back in 2012 and have grown to an established company with over 8.2 million families, 200,000 games, and 8 million of annual subscription revenue worldwide. What propelled this growth and what is your mission, Yogev?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we're celebrating a decade exactly yesterday. We just celebrated that. We're very proud of that. We started out with a simple concept of empowering educators to be able to create the content that they want in modern interactive ways. So they're not dependent on government's badges or whatever content they have on their desk for their students. Um, as a quick example, the Queen's death now in England is a great opportunity for teachers to pick up TinyTap, create interactive content in real time about what's happening today and what matters to their students. And this is exactly what drove us to create TinyTap. In the beginning, it was used mainly in schools by kindergarten and elementary school teachers. Over the time, we've amassed enough library of content that we started marketing that directly to parents worldwide. And we're very happy to see it succeeding. Around the time of 2017, 2018, we started our subscription model, offering parents everywhere access to a library of 200,000 pieces of games. And what's unique about those games is that they come in multiple languages because they're created everywhere. So one simple way to think of us is like YouTube for educational games. We offer kind of a stage where everyone can come, create the content that matters to them in their own language, and parents can access it for independent learning at home.
Exactly. So, I mean, this belief in decentralized education is totally unlocking, digital education for everyone. And I'm a big fan. As your first step toward building a teacher community owned education system, Yogev, you are offering supporters the co publishing rights for 12 educational courses, which upon promotion can earn 80% of future earnings. This is the TinyTap Publisher NFTs. And revenue from the publisher NFT sale will provide teachers with a significant amount of funding that's going to basically enable them to create new educational courses. Now, the author and TinyTap, which is you, are going to retain the remaining 20% co publishing rights, if I'm understanding this correctly. This is pretty revolutionary and a great monetization model. But this model could only sustain itself if there is a marketplace. How are you going about creating this, or does it exist already? And does the community understand and appreciate blockchain?
Yeah, I think that one of the uniqueness about TinyTap entering blockchain is we're one of the first education companies, if not the most established education company to enter Web3. And we come not with a concept, but with an actual community of parents and educators and revenues that is driving in. So fiat that is coming into the platform and the catalog of games. So essentially the games themselves, the content exists. And what we thought about in order to create this kind of ownership that we perceive as the way to create a new education system, the first step would be to introduce a new type of NFT, the publisher NFT. And it's important to pause for a second and understand what it's actually about. So if until today we've seen a picture NFTs and utility NFTs, I think that publisher NFT, at least in my eyes, is kind of the vision I was hoping to see for NFT, actually owning a property.
Yes.
Property that you have the rights for it and that you can generate revenue for that. So to start, we're going to start with an auction. This is the first time we're actually announcing it here. We're going to start with an auction of 12 courses created by educators on TinyTap. Those courses already exist on TinyTap.
There
And
you
they
go.
have been generating revenue for a couple of years now. Some of them range between $2,000 of a year of revenue to $20,000 of revenue. So essentially, we're going to offer supporters, people who care about those subjects and care about the evolution of NFT and what it can become, to buy partial ownership in the form of a co-publisher, become co-publisher of the educator. The first sale will offer 80% ownership in those NFTs and will entitle the owner to revenue of 80% of future revenue. And just like you said, for the educators itself, it will provide a mini exit, we can call it. It can provide upfront funding of 2, 3, 5 years, depends on the bits we'll get for its annual revenue. And that teacher can take that revenue from the NFT sale and create new content and even better
Absolutely.
content.
And you just feed the ecosystem in a very organic, natural way. And this is a great use case of NFT utility to being put to use in the right manner in a community that's already established, that already understands and appreciates blockchain and Web 3.0 technology. And this is kind of where we are going. Our digital natives, the very parents utilizing the TinyTap platform, parents like myself, are of that millennial generation where we understand, because our children, the digital natives, right, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, are the very ones interacting. And COVID, that pandemic, if anything, taught us that connectivity for education-based learning over the internet is really what was the framework for the last 48 months of almost the entire world. So thanks to Web3, you're providing a unique opportunity to invest in educators and support the decentralization of education globally, which I think is phenomenal, because you are doing something so power to the people, rise of the creator economy, so to speak.
People today have different agenda, and it's not just about math and English. So as a Gen Z, as future generation, you have things that you care about. It can be the environment, it can be financial literacy for kids, online risks and security for children, different agenda that we all want to promote. And when you just send your kid to school, you're going to get the same meal you had as a child. And by being able to actually put your funds directly where you want the education to happen, you're making that reality happens.
Exactly. So, which actually brings me to a really good point, because if you chat blockchain gaming, learning, and earning, so a key aspect of blockchain games is that players have true ownership of in-game assets, which marks a clear difference from legacy games in which developers are in complete control. This means that everything that you've obtained on a blockchain-based game marketplace remains yours until you decide to sell it to another player. And thanks to the transparency provided by the ledgers of blockchain, every asset can be traced back to its origin. So the growth potential, even for blockchain gaming, is huge, as it not only creates a new source of income, much needed in a world where jobs are becoming scarcer, but also serves as a vessel for mass adoption of crypto, taking into consideration that the video games industry as a whole nowadays is bigger than Hollywood. Exposing even a small percentage of that group could mean a significant increase for the field in general. So the merger between TinyTap and Animoca is extremely timely. But let's play this back into education. Yogev, why do you think there has been a shift in mentality when it comes to online earning and learning models?
Yeah. So I think we're seeing it not only in education, we're seeing it in every industry, from music to publishing videos to handcraft, basically offering people a stage where they can express themselves and not be limited by specific titles and profession is what the internet is all about. And with blockchain, I think most people don't really realize that. People outside of blockchain, we make this more about them, about the creators, rather than the companies who offer the platforms. So, for example, if someone owns a publisher NFT, access to that content, he can improve that. He can localize it to different languages. He can find new models to sell it, and then sell it. You don't have to be relying on market trends and trading. It's actually owning an asset like an apartment, maybe renovating it, improving it, localizing it, opening it to new markets, and then selling it at a higher bid. It makes a lot of sense to view digital assets just the way we view actual properties offline. So the more the tools actually allow for that, the more we'll see people drawn to that and realize that this is the realization of what the internet should have been in the first place.
Yeah, with that, for sure. And now you're tying that very nicely, because if you talk about crypto education, right? I think crypto education should begin in school, but a recent research conducted by study.com, Yogev, revealed that 64% of US parents think cryptocurrencies should be a subject part of their children's education. And the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, is also a proponent of such educational amendments, because last year he labeled cryptocurrencies as a new way for paying for goods and services through the entire globe. And pupils should study them and their underlying technology. And we have nearly two-thirds of the 800 surveyed American parents said cryptocurrencies, without a doubt, should be part of everyday life going into the future. I mean, these are numbers that are very telling. So your platform is feeding and catering directly into that appetite. And it's interesting because it's always about timing and where the world is at. But my question to you, and this pertains, we have about 2 minutes, although the educational landscape is still dominated by passive learning, TinyTap's success with UGC interactive education content over the past decade indicates that parents have a strong demand for virtual home learning environment for their children that is active, safe, and high quality. What inspired this approach, and can this help a child with zero educational formation?
Yeah, I think children very much are similar to grown-ups. So just like you as a grown-up can't sit in a lecture and listen to someone talks about the content that you don't care about for 45 minutes, that's the same with kids. You have to be active. You have to participate in engage in order to have brain activity in the making. And I think interactive is the best way to do that. What really inspired us very early on, a decade ago, was the launch of the iPad, like a big screen that young children can interact with, that doesn't require the complexity of a computer. And that's kind of what launched the platform. There's even an interesting story that behind the company. Originally, it started for my dad, who had dementia, so not even for children. And the concept here was to basically create personalized activities for him that are so simple and that will match his cognitive ability and that he can interact with. And we just took it from there to kids and plan on growing it from there all through university.
I love your thought process. It's true, in education, active learning requires students to interact with information and participate in the process, whereas passive learning requires students to internalize information provided by a source, such as an instructor or textbook. But we do know, and very true, active learning activates higher order thinking and is much more intellectually stimulating and engaging. And even in the case of Alzheimer's or dementia, that is the way to go with respect to going from square A to square B and methodical learning. But you do what you do, and you do it best for a reason, my friend. We are at the end of our show, and I just wanted to thank you for coming on and providing such knowledge and depth and expertise. It's really revolutionary what you're doing at TinyTap.
Thanks for the opportunity. It was a pleasure. Hope to come back soon.
Oh, we'll definitely have you back on. Guys, you have to check out TinyTap if you are a parent interested in cutting edge technology with the idiot's guide approach, so to speak. Very simple to set up. Check out TinyTap at tinytap.com and definitely check out Yogev. He trends on Twitter at Yogev77. That was our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to us by Animoca Brands. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands as a worldwide industry leader in digital, entertainment, blockchain, gamifications, and digital property rights. Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the metaverse. Ranked by the Financial Times as a high-growth company, Animoca Brands creates a new asset class, GameFi economies, and a more equitable digital framework contributing to the building of the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.